Shannon and Skip will be there. Speaking of which, good morning, Jenny. What are you and the guys talking about today?
Good morning, Jenna. And before I get started, Nick, I am happy for you.
Thank you, Jenny.
More fun for
Thank you so much.
Coming up on Undisputed, who has the edge heading into Super Bowl 54, the Chiefs or the 49ers? And is Conor McGregor officially back after his win Saturday night? Plus, Antonio Cromartie is in studio with us. Undisputed coming up next. Jenna, back to you and the guys.
All right, Jenny, thanks. Have a great show. Time for us to go viral. Yesterday, Pat Mahomes was sensational, leading the Chiefs to a Super Bowl 54 berth. So, naturally, everyone was showing love on Twitter. Russell Wilson tweeting, "Congrats to the Chiefs. Y'all got a baller in Pat Mahomes." Baseball Hall of Famer Mike Piazza tweeting, "Special congrats to Pat Mahomes. I bet your dad is over the moon. Very much enjoyed playing with him. Best of luck in the Super Bowl." And NBA star Luka Doncic. Let's
worlds colliding.
Pat Mahomes.
Oh, my adult
I know you can't
Slovenian
choose
son.
No,
you don't choose between children. No.
These will be the two biggest stars in sports for the next decade.
Oh, well, Giannis wants something to say about that. Oh, look at that. Me with baby Luka at an old barbecue with Patrick.
You need to explain to people that don't know how.
What do you mean?
It's
very simple. No, Luka Doncic is my large adult Slovenian son. There's nothing else to say about that.
It's easy.
That's
right?
all it is.
You don't see the connection?
Patrick Mahomes, good family friend. That's all that it is. Yeah.
Just a slice of obvious.
Yeah, clearly.
Okay.
I mean, the picture speaks for itself,
Nick,
Jenna.
I'm happy you were smiling.
You see those suspenders I put baby Luke in? You can only do that if you know he's going to be a star one day.
That's right.
I obviously knew that.
And the hat as well.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming from Patrick. I thought the Chiefs should have taken Deshaun Watson. What do I know?
All right. Well.
Yeah.
How do you transition from that? You don't.
Yeah, I know. Only one team stands in Patrick Mahomes' path to his first career Lombardi Trophy. Niners and Chiefs will battle in Miami at Super Bowl 54 on Fox to cap off the 100th year of the NFL. All right, Nick, who is the better team? The Niners or the Chiefs? Not your pick, but who's the better team between these two?
The Niners are definitely the more well-rounded team. The Niners, right now, both teams' health is about a wash. And that is one of the great things about this matchup, is neither team is dealing with a substantial injury to a key player that after the game you're going to be like, well, what if this guy, and you hope they both get through 2 weeks of practice clean. But if we're doing a tale of the tape, the Niners check a hell of a lot more boxes than the Chiefs do. The Niners have a dominant defensive line. They've got a dominant running game. They've got an elite offensive line. What the Chiefs have is the best player in the entire NFL. What the Chiefs have is not only the better quarterback, the best quarterback, the player who they want to put the game in his hands, while the Niners, and we saw it yesterday, if they have their druthers, let's have our quarterback just be an extra in this movie. I mean, quite literally, anyone could have done. Anyone that's in the NFL playing quarterback, backup third string, could have done what they asked Jimmy Garoppolo to do yesterday. While on the other side, only Patrick Mahomes could have done what he did yesterday. So how much will the quarterback edge tilt the rest of it? Because if all of a sudden we found out Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing in this game, even though the Chiefs won a game with Matt Moore at starter, the Niners would, to me, be 9, 10-point favorites. Easy. It is purely because he can do that and everything we've seen these last 2 years that the Chiefs have a real shot in this. But the Niners are the more well-balanced and I think the scarier team as far as what they can present defensively.
Here's what should concern you if you're a Kansas City Chief fan like yourself. There was, at least for a couple games, it looked to be a recipe of how to beat this Chiefs team. It was when the Colts and Texans beat them back-to-back weeks, and they held the football for close to 40 minutes of the ball game. The Titans did it for a half. I think the time of possession at halftime was 18 minutes to 12, and they were running Derrick Henry. The problem is you have to hold the lead and maintain it. But what makes this Chiefs team so dangerous is they can get out there, and then the Titans got away from their game plan. The thing about the 49ers that will scare you, they will not. Kyle Shanahan will remain committed to the run no matter what the score is. It's proven over time. He's been dedicated to that. It runs in his blood from his dad, from Gary Kubiak, who was a coordinator with the Broncos as well. All of those things kind of come together. When you look at the coaching experience, clearly favors Andy Reid, but Kyle Shanahan does have his dad. to lean on. He's got John Lynch as the GM to lean on. He's got some people that can help him through this process, and he was there himself as a coordinator with the Falcons. It's a great, I don't think the NFL, clearly, there were some people saying, uh-oh, what happens if the Titans beat the Chiefs? This matchup is the best possible scenario for the NFL because I really do feel this is the two best teams that are playing.
Well, the Niners all year long, even though people such as myself doubted them foolishly, proved they were the best team in the NFC. In the regular season, in the postseason, they haven't been challenged. They haven't trailed for a single second. And the Chiefs, I felt, once Patrick got healthy, were the best and most dangerous team in the AFC. Now, the Ravens were looming, and the Ravens had been sensational, and we never got to see that matchup. So, worst case, this is the second and third best team in football playing each other, and you could argue it's the best and second best team in football playing each other. The point you made about coaching is a key one. I think in the vast majority of potential matchups, you would have said, even though Andy Reid has some game management issues, he has a clear coaching edge over whoever was going to come out of the NFC side of the bracket. If the Packers had won, that's how I would have felt. Hell, even if the Saints had gotten there, and they obviously didn't win a playoff game, that's how I would have felt. I think Kyle Shanahan is the best offensive mind in the NFL. I truly believe that. I think Andy Reid's second, and Andy Reid does have the experience of having gone through Super Bowl week as a head coach and other things, but there is not going to be some major schematic edge for the Chiefs like I think you had against the Titans, like I know you had against the Texans. Kyle Shanahan is not only the best young coach in the league, he already, to me, is a top 3 coach in this league. He will have the Niners absolutely ready to go.
They design plays. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not a slouch, and yet he's not one of the better players in the game, and they've made him look really good. They design plays formationally, moving guys around that get guys in mismatches, which creates nice, easy throws for Garoppolo to make. Not that he can't make the hard throws. And you know what else it does? And I thought Troy and on the game last night was really recognizing this. On a lot of their runs, the misdirections, the cutbacks, little subtleties, they're opening up these gaps that are 5 yards wide that it does seem like anybody could go through. That's not only the offensive linemen. That's not only Mostert running through them. A lot of that is by design that Kyle Shanahan has scripted up that puts his players in great positions to succeed.
But, Nick, when you have two teams that are so evenly matched heading into the Super Bowl, it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Yep.
And as you've seen from the Chiefs, they've almost shot themselves in the foot the beginning of each of their last 2 games. Yep. And you want to hope that Andy Reid's going to button that up and button it up quickly, because the 49ers aren't making those mistakes.
Well, they're not making those mistakes, and they're not. And Jimmy Garoppolo obviously had made the one big mistake against Minnesota, and they took the game out of his hands. Yesterday, he almost made that mistake against the Packers. Kevin King got his hands on a football, and then Kyle Shanahan didn't let Jimmy throw a pass for an hour and a half. Next time he threw the pass, the game was over. He said, nope, sorry, and to their credit, they didn't need him to. It's odd for the Chiefs because the Chiefs' mistakes have been bad penalties, a muffed punt, some breakdowns in coverage. Mahomes has never turned the ball over in his playoff career. Mahomes has only gotten better and better in each playoff game. If he continues that trend, where each playoff game is better than the last, then the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. Because if he plays better in the Super Bowl than he did against Tennessee, which was almost perfect, he threw the ball 35 times. There were 3 missed passes. Now, he had more incompletions than that because of drops or because of throwaways. There were 3 passes that were graded as inaccurate. If he continues on that trend, the Chiefs will win. The problem for the Chiefs, Danny, is I feel like the only way they can win is if he continues on that trend.
Absolutely. I'll give a stat for you that I think you'll like. Patrick Mahomes, in the second quarter of this postseason combined, has thrown for 209 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jimmy Garoppolo, in the entire postseason, has thrown for 208 yards.
It's unbelievable.
It is, like, you cannot put, like, statistics, you can keep reading these accolades, but the best way to fully appreciate Patrick Mahomes is just sit back and enjoy the show. It really is the best way to take it in.
And we've got 60 seconds left, and the Chiefs very well may lose 13 days from today on Fox. And if they do, it'll be heartbreaking for me and my friends in Kansas City. It will be an amazing season. I want to say one thing before the show wraps up to my folks in Kansas City, my hometown. We all lived through the Marty Ball era. We lived through the 3 missed field goals from Lynn Elliott. John Elway driving down the field in the 4th quarter to beat a 13-3 team. The no punt game. Losing a playoff game when you scored 2 touchdowns and the opposition scored 0. Blowing a 28-point lead to Andrew Luck. The D Ford offsides and then Brady ripping our heart out. We lived through all of it. And now we are in the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years because we have the best player in the entire NFL, and God willing will for the next 10 years. Enjoy it, Kansas City. Enjoy these next 2 weeks. What happens a Sunday from now, 2 Sundays from now is not guaranteed. Enjoy this. It's been a long time coming.
We did it, Nick.
Therapy
Nick,
session
we
over
did
here.
it.
Unloading.
We did. Undisputed.